That is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bit. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So sticky and horrible. So yes, so yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Good afternoon, you lovely people. How is everybody? My mistake. The reason you guys didn't get notifications because I set the date for the 24th, not the 25th. So I do apologise. So I should have been live yesterday at 1 o'clock, but I didn't turn up. So I do apologise. I need to check the date in the future. So anyway, as long as everybody's made it over, I did chuck loads of links out quickly on Facebook when Mark messaged me and said there was no what do you call it? No pop-up about it. So hopefully everybody who wants to come over has managed to find over. If you guys could just quickly share it to see if anybody's missed it, then we can get some more people in, which would be absolutely awesome. Thank you very much. As always, I have my lovely wife Nikki with me this afternoon.
Hello.
So she's here as always, the hostess with the mostess. So today, got a piece of you. I haven't really turned. I've only ever turned one other piece of you, so I thought I'd give this a bit of a bash. I think it's you. It's a similar sort of colour to you.
Not in me.
So it was a few cracks in it. As you can see, I've chucked a load of super glue in it yesterday. So hopefully that'll hold together. So that is the plan. Just a basic bowl, nothing too flash. I'm hoping. I know you's got some nice colours in it. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to bring some of those nice colours in. So anyway, that's the plan. As always, I've put a 53mm Forstner bit in the back to give me my location to hold on the chuck. So I will get this started, and Nick is going to read out the chat.
Hello, you lovely people. Right, first we have Mark the Gentleman Woodturner. We have Sid's Repurposing. Hello. We have Pete from Twisted Trees. We have Tommy Dunn. We have Ian Leonard. We have Ian in the Shed. We have Colin from Wood Wizardry. We have Terry Bray, John S., Robert Dolman, Klondike Craftsman. Can't remember his name.
Lewis.
What have you done to my list?
Klondike is Lewis.
I haven't even got him on here, I don't think.
He's on there.
Right, anyway. Hello, Lewis. Oh, no, I've lost it now. Midnight Joker.
Mike.
Doug Miller. Hodgepodge. Paul Smith. Rob C.P. Woodturner. The Beard Rich.
Hi, Rich.
And I think that's everyone for now. If I
Alright.
missed anyone, I apologise. But I can't cope with the pressure.
The pressure's got to it. Anyway, welcome to everybody and thanks for coming over. So I'm just going to basically do the same as we do always. Just going to round this off, get mortars in, and then we're going to try. I don't know whether we're going to be able to get all this natural piece out, but if we can incorporate a little piece of this in the bottom, then actually it might look quite effective. But we'll see how we go as we turn it. So get this turned out. I don't know how. I think yew is not too hard a wood, so hopefully we should be all right. So let's go for it.
Who was it?
Oh, look, hang on. Just before we start. Right, I've got to say something quickly. Just before we start. Today is my dad's 70th birthday. Richard Benton. It's supposed to be Bunton, but he's got Benton. If everybody can wish my dad a happy 70th birthday, I'd be very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Rich. Ian in the Shed said that would make a nice funnel.
Don't start with that all again.
Your dad's on.
Yeah, I know. I just said happy birthday to him.
Oh, right, sorry. Colin King is on.
Hi, Colin. So we get this rough round.
So, Richard, now you're 70 doesn't mean you're not decorating anymore.
He won't stop. He won't stop because if he stops, he's got to put up with Lynn all the time. Right, so we're round. That's a nasty crack in there, but like I say, hopefully the super glue has done its job. That's smooth. I can't feel no crack in there, so hopefully the super glue has done its
Amy's
job.
in the house. Hello, Amy.
Hi, Amy. Welcome. So I'm just going to bring this round and find my centre.
Richard RJK Spinning Wood is on. Nick
Hi,
Gould's
Richard.
on. Dr.
Hi.
Bob's on.
Hi, guys. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming over.
Again, if I've missed anyone, I do apologise. Your dad put no. Full of conversation, Rich, as usual.
Nope. Oops. Right, let's just find our centre. Get this mortise in here.
Benjamin's on.
Hi, Ben. I'm going to do my mortise about 5mm deep. So not too deep.
Robert Nye's on.
Hi, Robert. Robert Nye, is that a new name?
No, I think he's been on before.
Oh, have they? Well, welcome anyway. We'll just turn this out a little bit. Stock's a bit high. Like I say, I've only ever turned one piece of yew before, so we'll see how it comes out. I'm just going to skim the front of that because that's not very even.
Yes, Richard, our JK spinning on nice and warm today. The weather's quite nice here. I even got the washing out.
So I've got my mortise in. I'm now going to try and swoop this out. So how much of this, just stop it. It's easy to stop it and talk.
Just quickly, Ian in the shed said that the PC he bought for the shed is rubbish. It's crashing as soon as he tries to record from more than one webcam at a time. Ian, it might be worth giving Steve a private message later and just seeing what he does for his. He got a lot of advice from
Dale.
Dale, oh my god, my head's gone.
My lathe won't
Maple
start
Tree
up.
Studios.
My lathe has just died. Seriously?
Oh no. You have to get the other one out.
Yeah, right. I did that a month ago.
Oh no.
It's just died. I just unplug it for a second. See what happens. Jesus, man, what's going on? You said about PCs not working properly.
Yeah, told him to give you a call, a
I
message.
just want to do that a little bit deeper because there's a little bit of tear out in there, so I think we're gonna have to do a bit more around there.
Mark. Oh, perhaps that was to Ian then.
Yeah, that was too. There's quite a few cracks in there. So how this is going to come out, I don't know, but I'm hoping. I put nearly a whole tube of super glue in there, so I'm hoping.
Did you put 50p in the meter?
Yeah. In this crack here, I put nearly a whole tube of super glue in. I put super fine super glue to start with, which soaked nearly all the way through. And I left it an hour, and then I went over the top of it with medium, which hopefully has filled the crack. I mean, you can't feel it. You can see it, but you can't feel it. There's a little bit of worm in there as well, but we'll see.
Terry said, could it be a fuse? No, he didn't. Colin said, could it be a fuse?
No, I don't think it's a fuse, because all the electrics would have gone off, and that means the PC would have gone off as well.
LE2 Meadows
There
is
you go,
in.
look, it's working now. Strange. That did that to me a month or so ago. You had to unplug it and leave it a few seconds before it came back on. I personally think there's an issue inside that box. But
well, you need to get it sorted. It's got to still be under
it
warranty, is it?
It is under warranty. I will need to get it sorted. So
You'll
what
have
I
to
want
get
to do, I wanted to make this mortise a little bit deeper. That's what I wanted to do.
Are we going for a funnel?
No, we're not going for a funnel.
50p funnel.
I've done a pound one.
And Rob CP said, did Steve keep 50p back for the bottom?
Right, so that should be deep enough now. So we're going to go. I think I'm going to put
Door
a little.
60 is on. Oh, Leap and Lima. Woodcraft.
Door 60. Afternoon. I keep forgetting that guy's name.
I'll tell you. Give me a second. Andy.
Andy. I do apologise. I do keep forgetting your name. But welcome anyway, Andy.
And Leap and Lima's Scott.
Hi, Scott. Welcome. So I'm going to put a little bit of a. I'm going to have a little bit of a foot on it. Nothing too major. And what I'm going to use now, I'm going to use 1/2 inch bowl gouge to scoop this out to give me my rough shape. Obviously, we've got those natural pieces in this, so it's going to look like we're sort of turning thin here to start with, but try and get a nice swooping shape on it. Just bring it around a little bit. Smells nice, if nothing else. So I'm just going to move this. So I'm just doing a bit of a shear cut in here to clean this out. What I'm going to do, just put it on there. What I'll try and curve this corner a little bit more to give me a bit more of a natural curve on this. So I want to try and take a bit of this out. So we'll see what that looks like. Feels like I've got rid of all that old natural stuff as well, so should be nice. So we've still got a bit of worm in there, but all those cracks are all filled in, which is nice. So what I'm going to just do, I'm going to use a 3/8 bowl gouge and just clean this up a little bit. We can't do nothing about the worm, so it's just a case of doing the best we can with it. So there we go. Got a shape. Needs a little bit of TLC on there. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit because that's not very. It's a bit chippy in there. Let's get that cleaned up. Bars need cleaning up a little bit, really. Give it a little bit of magic spray. Right, that's better. Still a little bit of tear out on there, obviously, where it's a bit soft, but we'll get it sanded and we will see what happens. So because it's a little bit soft in places, I'm going to go from 80 grit. Like I say, hopefully get rid of some of this tear out. And we'll see what happens. So I hope everybody's had a good weekend.
Sorry, I haven't even looked at this. Sorry, I better go back.
Fell asleep.
Yeah, could easily. Ellie's been on the lathe.
Ooh. What have you been making, Ellie?
She said she finally remembered to sand and seal it before Yorkshire Grits Day finish came out much better.
Yeah, will do. You need to seal it.
Leap in Lima Craft Works Scott said, what size bowl gouge and grinds would you recommend for a beginner bowl turner?
Well, I've used the same grind ever since I started, really. 45 fingernail grind. I find the fingernail grind good for a learner. Gives you a little bit of bowl control or gouge control and experience before you go on to the traditional grind. Traditional grind has got a much steeper angle on it, so you're more prone to catching. But like I say, the finger grind is very much better for a beginner. But I still use the finger grind, to be honest.
I think everyone's different, aren't they? Because Mark's obviously put on something.
Yeah, if you know, I mean, if you've got tools like Mark's got, the Simon Hope tools, you can have a finger grind on one side and then a traditional grind on the other, because you can take the tool out and spin it round. But obviously a normal traditional chisel, you can't do that. You only got one tool, cut edge. But traditional grind is good for bottoms of deep bowls because you get more of a steeper angle in the corner. So like you say, it's down to the individual's preference as well.
Steve Jobbins is on.
Hi Steve, hope you're well.
If I've missed anyone, I do apologise. Barry Wood Creations.
Hi Barry, how are you, sir? So 120.
Your dad's put go fish.
Go fish.
Don't know what that means.
Oh,
Right,
what?
Colin Wood Wizardry's got a question. Thinking of getting a large-ish spindle rough and gouge that won't break the bank. Any recommendations?
Well, I've got the Record Power one, which came in a set. And to be honest, how often I use a rough and gouge, that is good enough for me. But again, it's like anything. It depends on how much you want to spend, doesn't it? Crown are good. Crown are very good. Just shop about, Colin. So you can do, mate.
Rob CP Woodturner said, question please, should Steve put sand and sealer on first before sanding to harden the grain a bit?
No, what I'm going to do, who was that, Rob?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do, Rob, is the grain's not mega soft. There's just little bits where the cross grain has come through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand it to 220. Then we're going to sand and seal it. And that'll, any loose grain, that'll swell a little bit. So then I'm going to re-sand it, or if it needs it, re-sand it before I Yorkshire grit it.
Ellie's put that she did a laburnum live edge bowl, first time turning it.
Nice.
A lot of people saying it's nice to turn, but it's quite toxic.
What Ellie turns?
Yeah. Ian in the shed said he's only got one bowl gouge, and it's the same angle that Axminster put on.
So that'd
when
be
I
a
bought
traditional grinding, I would imagine.
it. Midnight Joker said, take the tool out and spin it round. Do you mean like a helicopter?
No, that is the good thing about the Simon Hope tools. You buy the handle, then you buy the blade separate, and you can have two different grinds, one on each end, which is a good idea.
Steve Jobbins put, here we go again, 20 minutes in, all shaped and nearly sanded, but I'm quite a slow turner. Doesn't matter. That all comes in time.
Doesn't matter, mate. It doesn't matter whether it takes you 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, or whatever. It's about enjoying it. When you stop enjoying it, that's when you need to find something else to do. Look at the
Or it
wormholes in
becomes
there.
a chore. You feel like it's a chore. Mark's just suggested to Colin the crown from Yandles is 42 quid.
Say again.
Mark, Gentleman Woodturner, said the crown from Yandles is 42 quid.
Oh, right, that's a rough and gouge. I might fill them, actually. That worm. I might make a feature
Tommy
of
said
them.
nothing wrong with slow and steady.
No, there's not. You're right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand and seal this.
Touch turners on.
Hi Mike, how are you? So give us a coat of sand and sealer.
Rob CP said it takes him 3 weeks to do what you do in an hour.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long it takes, mate. It's all about enjoying what you're doing. Because, I mean, if you don't enjoy it, what's the point of doing it? Easy as that.
Richard from RJK Spinner said he had his first bowl explosion the other day. Quite dramatic, but thankfully I was not in the line of fire.
Yeah, it makes you nip up a little bit when it happens. I remember the first one I had. That was a resin piece. Man, frick the life out of me. Let's give this a good soak in sand and sealer. Just let that dry a little bit. I might, these wormholes, I might make a little bit of a feature of those.
Put some... Can't put resin in it, can you? Cause...
No, not really big enough. But what I can do is I can put some coloured epoxy or some...
not put any milliput in it?
Yeah, I could put a bit of milliput. I wasn't going to do it now because obviously that won't be dry in time. But what I'll do is I'll just give it a quick rough over.
Tommy said, yeah, he's not burnt the bacon. Colin said, Steve, I need some of your clamps, lol. I went to glue 2 8x4 pieces of wood to make an urn yesterday and my clamps were too small.
Oh, man.
Colin said, fill them with milliput.
Yeah, I will do. I will fill them with milliput. What I'll do is I won't put no wax or nothing on it.
What colours you got?
I'll just buff it off. And
we could have a vote on the colours.
I have, well, every colour they got really. I have black, white, terracotta.
Got that bluey colour, haven't you?
Got milliput. I've got milliput colour. Terracotta, silver grey, black, white, standard, which is like a grey colour, and terracotta. I've got all the colours they do.
Right, let's have a vote then, guys.
And what I'll do is I'll put that in at the end of the lie. What I'll do is I'll get the inside turned out. Actually, yeah, I can finish it in the cold jaw, so I can still finish the bowl off. But I'm not going to finish. I'm not going to put no waxes or anything on the bottom part because
Steve said bottom.
I'm not going to put no waxes or no finishes on there because what I want to do is I want to put something in a milliput in those holes. So we'll get it flipped and then get the inside done, and hopefully the holes might come all the way through. To be honest.
Right, I've got one said blue, one says gold.
I don't do a gold milliput.
Black.
I do black, white, silver grey, standard, which is like a grey colour, terracotta, and the turquoise. So they're the colours they do.
Is the turquoise like that bowl you did before? The lighty, bluey?
Yeah, turquoise. Let me just get the colours on the box. So they do.
Yeah, right, you keep repeating yourself.
Turquoise. Standard, which is like a grey.
Oh, for God's sake, you just said all this.
I know, but I need super fine white. Silver grey. Terracotta, which is an horrible colour. Looks like dog feces. And then black.
How often do you look at dog feces?
Well, when people don't clear it up, quite often because you have to keep stepping over it. So they're the colours I have.
I missed them. No, I didn't.
Stupid girl. Right, so that's back up there. Safety glasses back on. Let's get this.
Yeah, I quite like the turquoise.
Yeah, turquoise is a nice colour. So let's get this hollowed out.
I was going to say terracotta, but then you just put me off. So.
Terracotta's not a nice colour. It's just a bland, horrible. No, it's not a very nice colour at all. I don't think it is, but people might like it.
Oh, I bet my coffee's cold now.
So I'm just going to take this nice and gentle.
Oh, that's cold.
Oops, it's a bit low. Taurus a little bit low. The bed bars have got a little bit of slime on from a piece I was doing the other day, so I need cleaning really. Right.
You haven't cleaned it.
I haven't
Oh,
cleaned that.
you bad. You naughty. Benjamin said, "Is your shed a workshop or a stockroom?" Both.
Yeah, both. That's a stock room out there.
He did do an invade with Rich the Beard. So that might be worth having a look at. You'll see how big Steve's empire is here. A bit like TARDIS.
If people are interested, I will do another workshop tour. I don't do it to brag or whatever. It's just so some people like to know what other people have got, so it gives them ideas of what they can do. So if people are interested, I'll quite happily do a quick pop-up live.
You also have to bear in mind that you're self-employed.
Oh yeah.
Handyman, builder, mechanic by trade. So we have a lot of bits that sort of come from those trades, haven't you, as well? So it's not all just wood turning stuff. It's stuff you've certainly accumulated over a lot of years as you're getting old now.
Thanks, love. Yeah, like Nick says, a lot of my tools are for work as well as they're not just for hobby. So, and my workshop is actually a working workshop. I actually use it for work as well. So, I'm quite lucky that way.
Terry Bray put, "What colour coin will match you?" Tommy put 2p, Terry.
They've just got no confidence in me, have they?
What's the saying? Jack of all trades,
master of none.
Yeah.
Oops.
Rennet soup. But you are having a list for this week of stuff to do, and I'm home to enforce it. So we'll get some jobs done, even if I don't get my bedroom painted.
I am a great believer in anybody can do anything if they want to. So.
But you just never want to. So.
Well, that's what I mean. If they want to.
So I'm going to use. You've got a dad that don't mind painting and decorating.
I'm going to use my depth gauge.
Don't change the subject.
That my good friend Mark, the gentleman the Woodturner, sent me.
That's it. Change the subject.
Mark will be happy now because I took it out the envelope it came in.
Yeah, it's always the same.
Sorry, I'm going to just turn this so I can get this a little bit easier.
Steve Dobbins put, question to Steve and everybody. I see loads of people using the Simon Hope little 6mm hollower. Is it better or worse than the Easy Wood big hollower?
I've never used the Easy Wood hollower, so I wouldn't know. But
It was out to everybody, so
I have one here, and I think they are an awesome piece of kit. The only thing I will say is go with it gentle, because it will hog out the wood at a very quick rate. So just go careful with it.
Colin said he was nice, but he left the rest out when he put jack of all trades. Hodgepodge put fennel or no fennel. This bowl will still have a hole in it, bug holes. No, don't start singing.
Sorry.
I might just need to pop inside.
Just clean this edge up, I think. So, let's have a look, see where we are. It's a bit thicker at the bottom than the top. I can
Might
feel
put,
that.
yay, Steve used my gouge.
Depth gauge.
Gauge, sorry, gauge. Tomato. Back in a minute.
I don't want to go too thin, because that still feel a bit green, but I don't want to leave it chunky either. So just one more pass. Just one more pass. Doot, boom. Has she gone and deserted me? Sounds like it. Still loads of meat in there. So I'm just going to clean it up with a scraper now. I've got a little bit of a ridge in there. I just want to get out with a scraper. I'm using a negative rake scraper. Oh, let's move the tool rest up. So Robert Sorby scraper that I put a negative on it. So that should give us a nice even finish. Something going on there. I can hear a clicking noise there when I'm turning. Let's just check that out. So let's have a look here. Right, yeah, that's that soft part again there. That's that soft part. This light piece here is a soft piece of wood, and that's given me a little bit of a. You can feel a little bit of a dip in it. You can see the tear out there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to gently hollow that middle out a little bit and feather that in, and then we'll sand the rest out, I think, because that's soft. That's better.
Hodgepodge put Mark, no, he'll just blame the funnel on a faulty gauge.
Them lot got no faith. I've got to redeem myself now, haven't I? Because I'm going to live with this funnel situation for
I
months.
think you need a t-shirt now. Funnel
Martin
t-shirt.
Sabian Smith does t-shirts for funnels.
Tommy put no, Steve, not one last pass.
Yeah, one last pass. Right, so I'm using. I've got
Crafts with
this. Go on, sorry.
Blake's on.
Hi, Blake. Oh yeah, quickly before Blake. While Blake's on, Blake's got a premiere today. It will be 2 o'clock our time, I believe. So make sure you go and check Blake out. Excuse me. So anyway, I'm using a drill today to sand the inside. I thought I'd give it a try. I'm using a 60 grit because obviously this is a little bit rough inside. So we'll get that sanded up.
Right, I'll do your job list now. Ooh. I ain't got a big enough bit of paper, I don't think. You ignoring me, Kev?
I can hear something in my ear, but I don't know what it is.
Steve's jobs. Paint my bedroom. No, we can't agree on paint, I don't know.
So get this sanded up, get it nice and smooth, which we are. Don't put too much pressure on it because of that soft part. I don't want to try and get it smooth. And the trouble is when you get a bit of soft wood, you end up with a bit of a divot in it if you're not careful. So just try not to apply too much pressure.
Dutch said, is there any time slot open today for a 10-minute premiere?
There's nothing on after Blake.
Right, so Hodgepodge said, depending on Rob's CP premiere length, maybe between his and mine.
Yeah.
Steve Jobbins put, I thought Nick was talking to me, Steve's jobs.
Yeah, you can do it, mate.
Collins asked, do you prefer using a drill to sand rather than the other one?
To be honest, Colin, I've never really used a drill, but I thought I'd give it a bash. Everybody else seemed to be doing it, but we'll see what it comes out like. I don't know whether you get a good finish with them or a better finish with them or not, to be perfectly honest. I think personally you get more of an even sand with a drill because the drill's rotating as well. Obviously the inertial sander is rotating as well, but the drill can rotate quicker than what inertial sander can. But we'll see what it comes out with and see what happens.
Colin Izzard's on.
Hi Colin, how you doing, sir? Welcome. So this is 240 grit. So that's nice and smooth.
Steve Coombs is on.
Hi, Steve. Got a little bit of a tear out in there. Or was that a bit of worm? I don't know what that is really. Lucky enough, the worm hasn't really come through the inside. So I think we could get away with sand and seal in that.
Scott from Leap and Lima said, "What sanding tip are you using?"
What sanding tip, or what the one that goes in the drill? If that's the one you're on, the one you want to know what's in the drill. These came from eBay or Wish. You don't get
Sorry.
you don't get the spongy pad. They are separate. They come like that, and you can buy. I think they come with either those or those in this. These are the 2-inch. Those and a 3-inch for a few quid. They're not very expensive. eBay or Wish, Amazon do them as well. Like I say, the foam pads you have to buy separate, which just gives you that little bit of sponginess when you're pushing. Because if not, I find that when you're sanding in tight corners with just that, you catch this on your piece and damage your piece. So you really need that spongy pad. They're not very expensive. I think they're about £5 for 2, so they're not expensive. Yeah, and all I'm using this is a 10.8 volt battery drill that I use just for messing around in the workshop with.
Neil Gould is off. He's out for his dinner.
Okay, Neil, thanks for coming over. Have a great day.
Ben said, "I went to record my first video yesterday, set up the overhead cam, and then got completely distracted by how thin I'd gone on top. Couldn't believe it. Ended up just cleaning the shed for a bit and went in."
Was he sulking? Was he sulking?
Ellie said, "A drill is handy for live edge bowls so you can sand stationary and
Yeah,
not
definitely.
lose any fingers."
Yeah, I normally use my orbital sander, but it's so noisy. That's the trouble.
Mark said, "Can anyone else see a tree in that bowl?"
Tree? Well, of course you would. That's a tree wood. What in the pattern here? Oh, what there? There. That bit there, Mark. Is that what you're talking about? Trunk, branches, base. So give this some sand and sealer. Nice coat, soak it in. Give it a good seal. I find the better the finish, better sand and sealing you get, the better the finish you get. A lot of people only put one coat of sand and sealer on. I like to put a couple on, so I know it's sealed well. And then the Yorkshire grit will do the rest.
Alf Keys on.
Hi Alf, how you doing, sir?
He said he's just took delivery of his new dust collector from Axminster, wall or floor mounted, 1 HP motor.
Nice.
Dale's on.
Hi Dale, how you doing?
Robert Nye said, "Question, sand and sealer, neat or thin down?"
I thin mine down. The Chestnut Products one, which is like this, I thin down 60% cellulose sand and sealer, 40% cellulose thinners. The Hampshire Sheen one, which is this one comes pre-thinned, so you don't need to touch that one. It comes in a tin like that, so you can buy it pre-thinned if you want. But I find the Chestnut one, if you take it straight out of the tin, it's too thick. It doesn't soak into the timber very well. So I always try and thin it a little bit, just so that penetrates that much easier.
Rex has asked, what was the sand and sealer, please?
Rex, sand and sealer is Chestnut Products, cellulose sand and sealer. You can buy, no, not that one. See somewhere. You can buy a water-based one if you would prefer, which is an acrylic. You can thin that down to spray in your spray gun with water. Or another cellulose one is Hampshire Sheens. But if you prefer to buy it pre-thinned, ready to go, you can buy it in a spray can form. Wrong way. Already pre-done. And you can buy that in cellulose and acrylic. So it's, you know, it's down to the individual what you want to use.
Jappy's on.
Hi, Jappy, how you doing, sir?
And Colin said, question, where do you get the thinners from? My sealer is thick as glue, lol.
Um, you can get it from an automotive shop. You just need thinners that they use for painting with, Colin. You can get it from any automotive shop. If you've got, I think Colin, where's Colin based? He's UK based, I'm sure. I get mine from Wilco's, the car motor place.
Hey,
They,
was Colin Roberts the one who you sent the mirror to?
yeah, I'm sure. If you've got a Wilco's near you, the Wilco motor spares, our Wilco's sell it in a gallon drum. I think a gallon is about 26 quid, but obviously you might not want a gallon, but you might be able to buy it in smaller containers. So Yorkshire grit, nice, gentle, even coat over the surface before we start sanding it out. And don't rush it, hardly any pressure, just let the cut and paste do the work, or the abrasive paste do the work. And this will take it up to around about 1,000 grit to give you that nice smooth finish. And the good thing is with it, no dust.
The
Which
camera's
is,
flickering.
which one?
No, not now. The one you was on before.
What, the overhead one?
No, the other one. The distance one.
Right.
Ouch.
So you don't want to rush this. You want to be spending 2 or 3 minutes just gently working it in. There's a lump there somewhere. There, what's that lump?
Scott from Leaping Lima said, what length handle do you use on your gouges? I see them from about 18 inches to 26 inches, normal long and extra long.
Yeah, mine are just a standard handle. Just let me finish this and I'll measure one. Mine are just the
Alf,
standard handles.
Alf said Lidl do thinners.
There you go. Cellulose thinners, that's all you need. Hasn't got to be nothing special. I know Chestnut products do sell their own thinners, but I don't. I've always just used the stuff I've had for spraying.
Ellie said she uses the blue Simon Hope on her 3/8 and red one on my 1/2 inch.
Yeah, they're the Simon Hope handles. Your handles are dependent to the tools.
Dale said, are they real inches? You've got your t-shirt on today, have you?
Right, hint. Right, so just speed up a little tiny bit just to finish off the cut and paste.
Which is all ironed and in your wardrobe.
Thanks, babe. I'm just going to start buffing that off. As you can see, as that's coming out, we've already got a bit of a sheen coming on there. So I'm just going to get a clean bit of tissue. And what we want on the clean bit of tissue is no more trace of the Yorkshire grit. And we know we've got all the abrasive off. As you can see there, you've got a bit of a trace on. We want to be rubbing over it and not getting any of that left on it. Then we know we've got all the beeswax and abrasive paste.
Your hands still look pink. I think that's a reflection off the light.
There's nothing I can do about it. That's the
No, I'm just
camera.
saying.
Yeah, I've tried. I spent an hour yesterday messing around with camera settings and that, but I either make it so I look like I'm grey, or it's like that. I mean, I think the combination between the light and the camera, they're not as bad as they were.
No, not bright pink.
So just get a clean bit of tissue, make sure we've got it all off. Like I say, this should take it up to about 1,000 grit once you've worked it all in.
Mark said you're spending too much time on the tannin bed.
So there you go, tissue's all clean. Now we know that the all the grit's off. We should have a nice silky smooth finish. As you can see there, without even a finish on it, you can see we've got a bit of a sheen. You can see the shine in there. So yeah, works really well. So what I'm going to put over this, I'm going to put some microcrystalline wax over on the inside. Oh, excuse me. I'm not going to do the back because we're going to put a bit of milli put in the back.
Notice you said back.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything else. So just give us a nice coat, and then we'll let it soak in for a couple of minutes. Soak in for a couple of minutes. Because ideally, you want your wax to penetrate into your wood. I'll try and leave it. If I was doing it where I was doing a video or I was doing it just, for a bit of fun, then I would leave it for 15-20 minutes to soak in and then give it a nice polish up. But because we're on a live, we can't really do that, but we'll give it a couple of minutes. So what was the colour choice for the milli put then in the back? Any
Turquoise, I think.
turquoise.
Mm.
So give that a good work
Amy
in.
said that's a gorgeous piece of wood.
Thank you, Amy.
Douglas Mungham's on. He said he's sorry he's late. He had some ironing and bits to catch up on.
Could have done it while you was watching, Douglas. So we'll give that a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes just to soak in. I'm going to get a quick drink. I just want to show you guys the piece we did Friday night. I just gave it another wax yesterday, and it's come up with like a mirror. You can see that it's actually come up amazing. Come up a lot better than it did on the live on Friday night. But that is a stunning piece of wood. That is. If you didn't see the live for that, that's up last Friday's live. I may be turning it into a video because it turned out really good. It was a nice piece, and I try and do all the nice pieces into a short video. So, like that, Chris had it finish really well. Right, so let's get this buffed out.
Bob's put question, did you get the big contract?
It's been put back. It's been put back a week, maybe two. Unfortunately, there's an ongoing chain on house exchanging, and it's been held up. So at the moment, no, but it is going to go ahead. It's just a time scale. But unfortunately, it's one of those things you're looking forward to it, and when it comes as a no, even though it's only a couple of weeks, you're still a little bit disappointed. But it will come. It's just being patient and time. But at the moment, no. Right, let's get this polished out. So,
Right, I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Got a drink?
I've got one, thank you. So what I'm doing is I'm using the piece of tissue that I actually put the microcrystalline on with, just to rub over the top of this. And what should happen, well, what happens is with the heat you're generating between the piece and your tissue, it sort of lets the wax get into the wood a bit better. And then once I've done that and generated a little bit of heat, I will then change to a clean bit of tissue to polish it up. So we'll go for there. And what I'm going to use, if I can get all the dirt and dust off of it, I've got here a piece of Chestnut Products buffing cloth. I'm just going to use to buff this up. Again, you don't need no major pressure. You're relying on the friction between the material and the piece to give you a shine. If you put too much pressure on it, it will just take the wax off. So you don't want to be putting any pressure on it. Just like that. So there we go. And you see we've got a nice shine on. You can't really see it on that light piece, but on the darker piece you can see there. And as Mark said, we've got a tree in there. So let's get them bits off. Got a little bit of tissue in there. Look. Just give him a buff and cough and just buff that out a little bit. That's better. So that's the outside. So what we need to do now is stick a bit of mully put in them back bits. So I'll get my board over. Let's do overhead like that. I believe we went for turquoise. So get a bit of turquoise. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I've got hiccups now. Get some gloves because if not, I'll end up with stained hands. So the milli put is a two-part. That's a good glove. Is a two-part process. You've got a hardener and the colour. So what we need to do is to cut equal amounts of both, and then we can mix them together. If I can find a knife to cut them.
Did I miss anything?
Just me. Right, we're going for milli. So we're going for turquoise, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, turquoise, right. So as you can see, come in two parts. This is your colour, which you can see is really dark. And this is the hardener. So what we need to do, you need to do exactly the same amount of both to mix up. And when you've used it, make sure you wrap it up well, because if not, it will dry out.
Doug Miller's got to go.
I'll see you later, Doug. Thanks for coming over, sir. It will dry out and then it won't be no good. So just make sure you wrap it up really well. So as we're only doing them little tiny holes, we don't need a great deal.
Mark said he's not convinced that that's you.
Yeah, it is me.
No, I think it's olive ash.
Oh, right, okay. Well, it might be olive ash then. I'm not 100% sure. So just a little tiny piece. Make sure it's wrapped up well. We'll wrap it back in its box. So we want the same amount of the hardener. So about there.
Hodgepodge said, question for all of you, chestnut products or Hampshire Sheen, specifically the waxes?
I like Hampshire Sheen's Finish and Wax. And then I haven't used their microcrystalline wax yet. I have got some, but I haven't used it yet, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But their Finish and Wax I do prefer. So I'm not going to lie. You just seem not to have to work so hard to get a nice shine on it.
Dutch Tanner said he couldn't get Hampshire Sheen there, so he's ordered the chestnut sand and sealer. Do I need to thin that? And if so, how?
I would thin it, Mike. I would thin it 60-40, 60% cellulose sand and sealer, 40% thinners. Personally. So with this, you're just mixing it together until you get a constant colour through. The good thing with the milli put is you can mix. What I've done before is actually I'll show you, it'll be easier if I show you. If you mix two colours together, you can get some really nice effects. If I can find what I'm looking for. First time. So you can get some effects like this if you mix the colours together. I don't know if you can really see that. Let's try another camera. That's better. So you can get like the white and the... There you go, that's better. Sort of a mottled effect. So you can get some really nice effects with it. So there's quite a big scope of stuff you can do with the milli put, or you can just use the individual colour. But what you need to do is you need to make sure you mix them really well, because if not, they will be hard and soft parts when you come to either sand them, finish them, or do whatever.
Dutch Turner's asked, what's a cellulose thinner?
It's like any thinners that you use. If you have automotive spray companies near you, you will have a company that will do a lot of the old-fashioned, or not old-fashioned, but a lot of old-style car automotive spraying was done with cellulose paints. So if you've got somewhere that sells cellulose paints, they will have a cellulose thinner that you can use to dilute your cellulose sand and sealer down with. But like I say, 60% cellulose sand and sealer, 40% thinners. That's what I do anyway. You could do it a bit thinner if you want to, but it's totally down to you. So you can
Hodgepodge
see.
said that looks like you've spat some chewing gum out.
Who said that?
Robert Hodgepodge.
So you can go got a nice equal colour now, or even colour. So we should be okay with that. So I can put that to one side. I'm going to take this, just clean this crud off my fingers, so I don't want it all over the bowl.
Got another question.
Go on then.
Douglas Mungham said, I have seen some metal fix stuff like Milliput. Is that where it started?
I don't know. I know Milliput was not actually designed for. It was not actually introduced to the community by, for a purpose. It was actually used for other purposes, and they just sort of expanded out to someone asked for it, and obviously then they're introducing different colours. I don't know whether it was a plumbing trade it was actually introduced for. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it originally wasn't for.
So it goes on like a paste, really.
Yeah, it's a putty. It's like a putty.
Mm.
So you sort of got to just push it in the holes. You want to make sure you go over it because it will shrink a little tiny bit, not a lot, just a little tiny bit. But you need to really just ram it in the holes or force it into the holes. So you're pushing it deep into the nooks and crannies, and then it'll take. I always leave it overnight. It's normally dry by the next morning. So it's and you just turn it off like you would anything else.
Dale said, Steve, are you putting more on the B word? Hey, look, Mark's put Milliput was originally designed to repair bathroom ceramics,
There you go.
baths, sinks, and toilets. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know it wasn't designed for wood turning.
And Ellie's just put the same. I think it was a plumbing originally. You should have known that.
I try not to break toilet sinks.
Mm.
I mean, some of these little tiny holes that's not going to stay into because as soon as we touch them with the turning tool, it's just going to chip them all out. But I will lay it over them and just try and force it all in. And hope for the best, really. But with sand and sealing it, you're giving it a good key to go to anyway. If you'd have done just the wood, it may not have keyed as well. 9 times out of 10, I do try and sand and seal it before I apply Milliput to anything. So I think it just gives it a little bit better key. It's a shame I've done them now. I could have done those cracks with it, but never mind.
You could have what?
Could have done those cracks I glued with the super
You
glue.
glued, yeah. Dutch says it hardens in 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, it does. But I normally leave it overnight, to be honest.
Mm. Apparently it'll cure underwater too.
Yep, it will.
So you have to sand that off then after.
Yeah, what you can do is, what I will do is I'll stick it in my cold jaws from a chuck and just turn it off. Just take a little thin skim off. I will
You won't
warn
do
you.
it now.
No, because it needs to dry
No.
first. It makes a mess, makes a hell of a mess, goes everywhere. But the effects are nice once it's all done.
Ben's asked, could you also have used a gilt cream or embellishing wax? Are the
Yep.
holes too big or deep? There's flies in it.
No, you can use. You could have used a gill cream or an embellishing wax. It's just that I've done a lot of that lately, and I thought I'd try something new. So it's always nice to have something a bit new in it. Try something new. Well, not try it, but show you guys something new. It's about trying. It's about pushing the boundaries. It's about thinking outside the box and all the other bits and bobs that go with it.
Not causing any more funnels.
Yeah, not causing no more funnels. Yeah, something like that. So just push that in there. Got one there. I went to a woodturning group when I first started turning in my local town, and being old school turners, I was shunned upon because I did resin work.
You told this story before.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that sometimes people need to think outside the box because traditional style is not always the be all. Things need to change sometimes, don't they? Needs to be improved and modified. I'm just going to put a little tiny
Yeah,
bit.
like my bedroom.
Yeah. You still, whether your bedroom is modified or not, you still won't see it when you're asleep.
I don't care.
Just
I wouldn't mind, but I only want it painting. It's not like anything else, you know. Don't need no new bedding, and well, I need a new blind. But that's it.
blinding. Just a little bit in there. So I think we are there. Just need to leave that now until that dry, and then we'll see what that comes out like. What?
You can read that one. I'm not.
What's he put? Oh, that's from Dale. Yeah.
Yeah. Hodgepodge said, "How long of a working time is there before it goes too hard?"
I reckon you got a good hour before before you start getting so you can't use it. I can't. I can't even. What's that say? Broad turn. What's that mean?
You Wally.
What?
Stephen,
What?
come back.
All right. Okay.
Richard RJK Spinning said, "Has anybody tried putting stuff in milliput like glitter?"
Yes, I did. I didn't get very successful with it, but I believe Hugh Lionheart he coloured milliput with a spirit-based dye, so you can do it. But yeah,
Douglas
I tried putting glitter in it. It didn't work very well.
Douglas wants to know how deep the holes are.
Not very deep. They're perhaps maximum of a couple of mil. So, like I say, I think some of them will come out when I turn it. But all I can do is just keep pushing it in and hope for the best, really. But there we go. It's all. I'll leave it like that. It looks like a planet. No, I'll let that dry overnight, and then I'll come back sometime tomorrow and just clean that up, get it in the cold drawers, just take a real thin skim off of there, and get that finished. And I've got a bit inside. Look, good job I waxed. That'll all come off with the what you mean. Manky fingers. You mean good thing is that'll all come off because that's been polished up. That'll come off, so it's not a problem. But like I say, I'll leave that overnight, and we'll get that cleaned off tomorrow. Then, as always, I'll stick some pictures up on social media, and we'll get that done. Right, I think we're there.
Your lives are getting shorter and shorter.
I know. We're not going to start thinking of more complex items, I think.
Obviously not pushing yourself hard enough.
So, guys, if there's no questions, then there's not really a lot else we can do. Thank you, guys. I'll read the comments since the wife's asleep.
There ain't no comments, just everyone said, "Awesome job. Well done. Looking really nice, Steve. Great demo as usual. Thanks to Nikki too. Looking great so far, Steve. Can't wait to see the back." Lovely bit of timber, mate. Great work, Steve. Didn't want to fill in the crack in the back. Nice work, Steve. Nice job, Steve. Nice job, Steve.
Thank you,
Okay,
guys. Thank you
you can
so
read the
much for
rest.
coming over. Thank you. Thank you. So I need to have a chat because I'm not back at work next week. I'll need to have a chat with Mark because Mark was going to do a lunchtime live, but we'll keep you guys informed.
Yeah, let him do it.
Yeah, I might do. Keep you guys informed, but if not, I will be back Friday night. We have a few premieres today, I believe. Hodgepodge, Rob CP. Who was the gentleman who said he might do a live pop-up live?
I can't remember now, but there's a lot of them. They need to just
Thank you guys. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Leaping Lima. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Ian. Thanks, Andy. Sorry. Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Douglas. Thank you, Ellie. So thank you guys. So we will see you, or me and Nick will see you next Sunday. But other than that, we will be back, and I'll try and get the time and date right for next week. That'll help, won't it? So you need to pop over and see Blake. Blake has got a premiere, so pop over and watch Blake. That's his first video, so pop over and give him some love and support. I'll see if I can quickly find his link and chuck it in the chat.
Robert said, thanks for the usual entertainment, Steve and Nikki.
We try and help.
Dutch is at 5:45.
Yeah, and when's Hodgepodge on?
Don't know. Without going right back through the chat.
See if I can find Blake's. Here we go. So let's chuck Blake's link in his channel, or link, shall I say. Copy link. Right, so this is Blake's new video. So make sure you guys go over and
Hodge is
watch.
at 6 p.m.
All right, okay. So make sure you guys go over and check out Blake, please, and give him the support he deserves. He's a young turn. He's only 12-year-old, so I'm now going to go and watch his video. So anyway, guys, I'll see you maybe, well, I might see you Thursday. If not, I'll see you Friday. But don't forget, there's loads of lives on over the week. We've got Robert's on today. We've got Rob CP's on today. There's another gentleman putting his in. You've got Blake's as well. You've got Makers International tonight. So, and then Wayne's back on lunchtime tomorrow. And then we just start all over again. So, hey guys, I'm going. Have a great day. Speak to you soon. Take care. And bye for now.
Bye.
That's all, folks.